actually making the plays, whether it's one of the league's best or a rising star coming up here in the NFL. We always learn a little bit more about the guys under the helmet. Check it out. We are now joined by one of the most feared pass rushers in the entire NFL. He's an all-pro, three-time Pro Bowler, coming off a career high in sacks at 13. My man gets to the QB and he gets busy on the defensive line. Please welcome to the breakfast table, friend, so uber friend of the show, Saints defensive end, Cam Jordan to the building.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. Namaste.
Namaste. You look good. You look fly. Thank you for joining us. Now, before we get to the interview, we have some unfinished business here to handle. Last time you were on the show, you kind of got in your feelings about a little something. Let's take a peek. Cam Jordan in the building. What's up, Cam?
You know, I appreciate you having me on. Everybody's got these coffee mugs. I'm like, yeah, let me just.
No. You know, hey, listen, I'll hit my people and make sure Cam get a mug.
Shout out Mitchell and Ness.
All right, so, you know, I hit my people. I'm a man of my word. You can't have that one because that actually is a prop.
Okay.
But we do have a brand new one here for you. So I'm going to go ahead and give that to you from the family here at GMFB.
I appreciate it.
All right, and we don't hand those out often.
I don't know that we've ever
Talk about
done.
it.
Have we never done this?
Talk about it,
I think Steve Thomas House stole one, but I think it was
So you're saying
This is a first.
You don't need to drink out that one.
This is a first.
That's our Infinity Stone.
Yeah, that's our commercial right there.
Man, that's it.
Hey.
perfect. I'm
Like Folgers.
I'm blown away that we did that. I think we're starting a precedent here. That's I don't know how it's
Just for you, Cam.
Wait, no. Wait, you can't roll that out for everybody. Don't take away me being.
You are one of
Here's a
the
Roy Kaepernick. Now roll it back up.
one of the best personalities in the league, but I do want to talk about your gameplay for a little bit. One of the best pass rushers out there. Last year alone, top 5 in sacks, in quarterback hits, tackles for loss. But I do feel like there's an underappreciated, underrated part of your game. You had 11 pass breakups. That is more than all-pro corner Xavier Rhodes. What is the key to disrupting those passing lanes? Take me through that.
I was trying to catch up to our rookie, Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah.
He comes out the way he did. But when you talk about just being able to affect the passer, it's in every element, whether it's, you know, the pressures, which is always great. You know, I love the sack. Even the quarterback hit, you know, you talk about even as he's getting ready to release the ball, if you can lay a couple of hits on him early, it's going to help your defense out later on in the game. You talk about defending that pass. Sean preaches it. Our D-line coach echoes it. It's something that our D coordinator, Dennis Allen, talks nothing about. Like, hey, if you can't get to the quarterback, what do? You get your hands up. You know, it's something that we preach in our defense. So it's something that you take to heart. I think years before, I think I've had 5 or 6. I'm usually pretty decent numbers
dude.
here. 11.
You're a nightmare.
I was going for this triple-double.
Okay, bro.
It was a self-proclaimed triple-double.
All right.
You know, I figured if basketball players can do it, why not a football?
No doubt. Well, if you're going to stuff that stat box, a big part of it for you is tackles for loss. Now, let's get back to Avengers. Spider-Man, very underappreciated, and this plays a critical role. We had Spider Cam. You did an impression of Spider-Man on the field. The photo of this play was chosen as one of the photos of the year by the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Whoa. Look at that. Whoa. It's an unbelievable play. Whoa. Break it down for us, Cam.
First of all, you saw how I blew past the offensive lineman. That's a goal every play. Right?
Okay.
So once you get into that backfield, just trying to finish him. I don't even know what happened. When you talk about, I was like, is that his jersey, his undershirt? Is that his, his skirt?
It's just like stretch arms on.
you know, he's playing for Detroit. It's probably a skirt.
Okay. Could be a blue one. I don't know. This is the picture, Cam. This was chosen by the Pro Football Hall of Fame as one of the action shots of the year, man. It's a ridiculous picture. It does actually look like Peter Parker. You know what I'm talking about? It's amazing. You're a roundabout way a Hall of Famer, Cam. Congratulations. Still working on it.
I'm looking at the Saints team right now. Obviously, you guys lost in historic fashion. We don't have to go into the Minneapolis Miracle. You've had time to do that. Now you look at 2018. How do you guys get better, and do you feel like this team is in a better position now to challenge than you were last year at this time?
For sure. I feel like myself, I've been in this position where it's like, you know, 2011, you go to the playoffs, you go deep into the playoffs, you feel like you should have beat the Niners, who then go on and play the Giants, which that would have been a no-brainer. We beat the hell out of them in that season, so it should have gone our way, but you didn't. You know, a couple years later, we go back into the playoffs and lose the Seahawks. So you've been to the point where it's like, hey, this is the potential make or break. Like, we have to do leaps. In previous years, I think we fell off the year after that. now we're heading to this. I feel like I've seen the same scenario. I realize the potential we have in our defense, but there's a difference in our defense and the way that we've been growing. This is the youngest defense that I've been a part of. You know, we talk about the additions of Marcus Williams and Marshawn Lattimore. You know, guys going into the second year with Von Bell and Kenny Crawley. You talk about the whole defensive line with David Onyemata and Sheldon Rankins heading to their third year. Alex Okafor, who will be coming off of an injury, but the way he started off the season, just how young this defense is. You look at somebody like me who's been in the league for 7 years, going into the year 8, and I've been the oldest guy on defense for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, dude.
You know, it's sort of funny when you're like year 4, but you're like the vet on the team. You're just looking around like, how am I don't know how to lead just yet.
But you know the talent is going to be there.
Exactly.
The guys being so young. Now, you mentioned different scenarios of years past, almost like ghosts that haunt you guys. And you look at a team and say, well, they beat us, and we would have done more if we would have got further. Now, speaking of that situation, schedule comes out. And I know the politically correct answer, but what I love about having you on the show, you don't give us politically correct. The schedule comes out.
Yeah.
It's that good old
And I know you saw what we saw, and that's week 8. You guys are facing this team that I played for called the Minnesota Vikings.
That your pops played for.
No doubt.
Now, what's your mindset after what happened last season, this year, and what's going to happen this season?
Are you talking about revenge?
Revenge, yeah. It's French.
Little thing called that.
Yeah, I don't know if it can be. You know, the 2 times that we played the Vikings, there's 2 different quarterbacks at helm. You know, and so going into this 3rd year, now we're playing Kirk Cousins, who we beat last year, but now is under new helm. They don't even have the same running back. We played 3 different versions. That's what I'm saying. We played 3 different versions of the team. They are not the same team that we'll face this upcoming year. So really, as far as I go, as far as, you know, speaking for our defense, we'll be focused on, you know, hell. Thielen wasn't a name like that until last year. He came up and had a monster year. So this will be the 3rd version. It's just another team for us. We'll be focused on, you know, week 1 when we go play Tampa.
Right.
And then I can even give you week 2. I think we played the revamped Browns.
Revamp.
Yeah, by then
they come to your house.
It's going to be awkward because you have Tyrod Taylor, who's a hell of a quarterback, who, you know, is a monster when he's got the ball in his hands.
They got Baker Mayfield waiting.
And then then they got Baker Mayfield, who you just traded, you know.
Right.
Right. And then made him a #1 overall pick. So now you've got pressure everywhere. So you know what they want to do, and you sit there like, but Tyrod's cold. So then, of course, you know, you talk about the draft picks. Now you're looking for Myles Garrett to evolve.
Yeah.
You know, they had Jabril Peppers and then the tight end and
Njoku.
Right. I'm glad you
It
said
ain't
that.
gonna be no easy game.
Yeah, I'm just saying they've revamped so many times. At this point, you know, it looks like they're strong.
Right. You got to respect them.
So you do go to Minnesota this fall. We'll be watching. But this week, you go a little bit further north. You're going up to Canada with some teammates as part of Play 60. What are you doing up there, man?
Just that. It's the Play 60 involvement with us and the Saints. Really just trying to spread that fan base. Last year, I had my first time out there. We went to Toronto, and it's like, you know, guys love Canadian football out there, but you get an American NFL team out there and they go so bananas. Yeah. So you bring that with kids, you bring that, and, you know, the parents are sort of rushing you just as much as the kids are.
Right.
And it becomes a good time. I mean, really, it's just extending out that fan base, showing love to the kids, who is, you know, the most important thing. You know,
we love
Shout out to
NFL
Van City.
Canada.
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna hook you up with a couple guys to talk to out there.
I'm there for the kids.
Kids in the morning.
This guy did something special every single Sunday. He was the face of a franchise.
It's a privilege to be one of the players that will help restore the roar in the dome.
Charged with delivering hope to a city.
Barry had that flash.
He was one of those guys that just stood out.
Until he unexpectedly walked away.
You know, if you're not careful, you can really get lost. I just felt like that was my time.
Barry Sanders, A Football Life. Tonight at 8, only on NFL Network.
I see it all the time. A person with no insurance brings in their car to be repaired after they get into an accident. When they find out how much it's going to cost, they get this look on their face. And I can't help but think, if only they were insured by the General.
At the General, you can get insured with low payments even if you have an accident or tickets on your driving record. Get your anonymous online quote and ride with the General. For a great low rate you can get online, go to the General and save some time.
It's that 99-cent kids' nights at Golden Corral. Every night, kids eat and drink for just 99 cents. Under $1. Woo! It's prime time for family time every night. Come on now. Golden Corral, your choice rules.
Do your thing. Flee that nest. Find your inspiration. Seize that moment. Be extraordinary. Spread your wings. Mazda. Feel alive.
Nothing gets a family's full attention like my freshly prepared chicken. The delicious KFC $20 fill-up with 8 pieces of extra crispy chicken and sides will surely get your kids off their phones. And they may even look at you, their loving parent. KFC, it's finger-licking good.